Hi students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sagar Pandya and today we are going to start with a very interesting chapter of our syllabus, that is chapter number 9, World Decolonization. One of the most interesting and one of the most beautiful chapter of our syllabus, one of my personal favorite. Let's begin. Dear students, till last lecture, or rather I would say till last video, we started learning about one important factor. One factor, that is what was World War and impact on India. Today we are going to learn about, अभी तक हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था about colonization, imperialism, domination of an undeveloped nation by a developed nation by making a colony there. जैसे ब्रिटिशर्स आए थे इंडिया, एंड अभी तक हम लोगों ने जितने चैप्टर्स पढ़े थे उसमें वही पढ़ा था. Now we are going to learn about how decolonization started. नाउ हम लोगों को पता है इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन आया. इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन के टाइम पे यूरोपियन नेशंस को रॉ मटेरियल्स का जरूरत था. सो रॉ मटेरियल्स का जरूरत था. वेयर डिड दे कम? दे स्टार्टेड माइग्रेटिंग, दे स्टार्टेड मूविंग टू डिफरेंट अनडेवलप्ड नेशंस लाइक एशिया एंड अफ्रीका. सो ये दोनों कॉन्टिनेंट्स में जब ये रॉ मटेरियल्स के लिए जा रहे थे, बेसिकली दे स्टार्टेड कॉलोनाइजेशन देयर. सो देयर वाज अ टाइम जब भी उनको इंडिपेंडेंस मिला. In this chapter, we are going to learn about how decolonization process started. So in this lesson, we are going to review about the process of decolonization in Asia and Africa. We shall do it with examples of history of a few countries. So let us begin with the first continent, that is decolonization in Asia. In the first half of the 20th century, decolonization did not take very long. In many of the Asian African countries, the process of decolonization was accelerated in short time because of conflicts among the European colonizers or the European countries amongst themselves. अंदर फाइट चालू हुआ जिसकी वजह से अपने यहाँ पे फायदा होने लगा. The occurrence of First World War and Second World War being another reason, and the anti-colonial movements in these colonies. The European countries could not have reasoned out of colonialism, and the exploitation of these colonies from the intellectual platform started coming here. So the Indian freedom movement had reached culminating point, that is resulting point, ending point, कि भाई यहाँ पे अभी हम लोग एंड कर रहे हैं, ये कॉलोनाइजेशन खत्म होना चाहिए, अभी कंट्रोल आएगा. कंट्रोल किसका आएगा? अपना खुद का कंट्रोल आएगा. सो अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ महात्मा गांधी दिस स्टार्टेड. Under this situation, England had become aware of the reality of their diminishing power, that is ending power. So this resulted in gradually introducing the system of internal autonomy in some of the colonies, internal rule amongst themselves. So Germany and Turkey were defeated. इंग्लैंड ने डिफीट किया था. इंडियन सोल्जर्स रिप्रेजेंट करने गए थे वहां पे इन द फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर. टू मैनेज द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ द कॉलोनीज विच वर अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ जर्मनी एंड टर्की, द लीग ऑफ नेशन इंट्रोड्यूस द सिस्टम ऑफ ट्रस्टीशिप जहां पे जो डेवलप्ड नेशन रहेगा वो अंडर डेवलप्ड नेशन को हेल्प करेगा फॉर डेवलपिंग देमसेल्व्स. सो इंग्लैंड एंड फ्रांस वर एंट्रस्टेड विद द रोल ऑफ ट्रस्टीज. लेटर इंडिया, Cyprus and Malta successively gained their independence. In 1971, England withdrew its army from Gulf of Iran. After that, England released its hold on Singapore. Indochina, Morocco, Tunisia and Algeria were under the French domination. These countries became independent. Now by the end of 20th century, South Africa also gained independence. So it was during 1990s जब भी South Africa को independence मिला था, and finally colonialism came to an end. Gradually the process of decolonization was completed. There came across, obviously 1945 second world war खत्म होने के बाद एक organization बनाया था, याद आया, for maintaining international peace and security. वो कौन सा organization था? United Nations. So this was largely responsible for facilitating this process. So अगर हम लोग एक एक कंट्री का बात कर रहे हैं इन डिटेल, लेट अस बिगिन विद द फर्स्ट कंट्री इन एशिया जिसके बारे में हम लोग पढ़ने वाले हैं, दैट इज Maldives. Now, Maldives being a beautiful country, Portuguese entered Maldives in 1507. Since then, Maldives began paying tribute to Portuguese in Goa also. In 1573, the Portuguese rule was ended by Muhammad Takrufanu al-Azam from Malabar. After his accession as the Sultan of Maldives, he made a treaty with Dutch. अभी कंट्रोल यहाँ पे आ गया था. इन 1573 द पोर्चुगीज रूल वॉज एंडेड किससे? थ्रू मोहम्मद थकुरु फनु अल आजम फ्रॉम मलाबार. सो जब भी इसका कंट्रोल आ गया था, वो सुल्तान का कंट्रोल आ गया था, ही मेड अ ट्रीटी विद द डच एंड गेव देम द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ Maldives. From there on, the Sultan of Maldives began to pay tribute to the Dutch in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, old name Ceylon. Later Maldives were taken over by the Britishers, and finally जब भी Britishers आ गए थे तो later on they started building their own naval base and a radio transmission center in Maldives. Therefore, they later on also took Indian laborers to work in the paddy fields. Paddy fields मतलब rice fields, जहाँ पे वो लोग काम करते थे in Maldives. मतलब Indians को as slaves लेके जाते थे वहाँ पे काम करने के लिए. Maldives finally became independent on 26th of July 1965 by a treaty signed at Colombo, that is in Sri Lanka. So when we are talking about Sri Lanka, let us move and start with the next part, learning about Sri Lanka. The British ruled Sri Lanka, that is Ceylon, from 1798 till 1948. They took over Sri Lanka by defeating Dutch and the Portuguese. There were uprisings in Sri Lanka against the British rule also. जैसे इंडिया में हो रहा था वैसे ही वहां पे भी uprisings हो रहा था, fight back हो रहा था. The British plantation owners had taken many laborers from Tamil Nadu to work in coffee plantations. Lesser known fact, जो अपने श्रीलंका में जब भी हम लोग देख रहे हैं, अपने वहां का तमिल माइनॉरिटी जो है वो इंडियंस थे. एंड आज भी देर आर मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स लाइक टिल द एंड ऑफ 20th century. हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आ रहे थे वेयर द राइट्स ऑफ दीज तमिल्स वर नॉट गिवन बाय द श्रीलंकन गवर्नमेंट. So in Sri Lanka, the British dominated the production and markets of coffee, tea, rubber and coconut. They developed Colombo as international port city. They also established colleges and universities in Sri Lanka and encouraged Buddhist studies. Sri Lanka became independent later on after India, that is in 1948. The next country जिसके बारे में हम लोग पढ़ने वाले is Myanmar. Myanmar, old name Brahmadesh. In 1599, the Portuguese defeated the king of one of the kingdoms of Myanmar. However, in 1611, various dynasties ruling in Myanmar got together. मतलब simple words में बोले तो म्यांमार का कंट्रोल जितना भी था वो slowly and gradually divide होने लगा था. They defeated the Portuguese and amalgamated their kingdom, mixed their kingdoms. United Myanmar was adopted and an expansionist policy was made and conquered Manipur and Assam later on. So it meant that the British Indian territories जहाँ पे उनका कंट्रोल था वहां पे ये लोग कैप्चर कर रहे थे. So it meant that the British Indian territory was under the threat for them being invaded. So a situation that caused 3 wars between the British and Myanmar. तीनों वॉर ऐसे बहुत डिफिकल्ट था. The first war in 1826 was won by the British. They took over the Assam and Manipur. They also defeated Myanmar in second war. And at about the same time, French had taken over the regions of Upper Burma. In the third war, the British won this region too, thereby ruling over the entire Myanmar. So basically जब भी हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं about Myanmar, the British government तीनों war में तीनों Britishers जीता. The British government annexed Myanmar as a province of British India. In 1935, it was again separated from India and was granted autonomy. Autonomy, that is self-rule दे दिया था. After 1937, the people in Myanmar created an organization. खुद का इंडिपेंडेंस के लिए उन्होंने भी अपना ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनाया था. क्या नाम था? बर्मा इंडिपेंडेंस आर्मी. क्या? बर्मा इंडिपेंडेंस आर्मी अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ ओंग सांग, डेमोक्रेसी लाने के लिए. दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हेल्प द जापानीज ड्यूरिंग सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर. It looked like a downslide for the British. However, they strengthened their hold in Myanmar once again with the help of America. दोस्ती क्या बोले अभी. The British learned their lessons that as administrators they could not afford to neglect their popular opinion in a country, and finally they appointed Aung San as vice president. The British granted independence to Myanmar finally on 4th of January 1948. So this was the process of decolonization which was going on in Asia. Now we are going to start with the next part, learning about the decolonization process in Africa. During the 15 years period of 1950 to 1965, people in the European colonies in Africa freed themselves from the foreign rule. मतलब ऐसा टाइम आ गया था जब यूरोपियन कॉलोनीज से इंडिपेंडेंस मिलना शुरू हो गया था, बिकॉज एवरी यूरोपियन कॉलोनी ऐसा था कि मोर और लेस वेदर इट बी विनिंग नेशन वेदर इट बी लूजिंग नेशन इन द सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर, सबको लॉस हुआ था एंड दे कुड नॉट अफोर्ड टू कंट्रोल देयर ओन क्या बोलते हैं कॉलोनी. So the education system on top of that imposed by the Europeans was alien to them. उसमें कुछ लोग ऐसे थे जहाँ पे जो educated थे and that they were educated according to the European norms. So the education system imposed by the Europeans was alien. It was something new to them. So ironically, African leaders were trained in this alien educational system and their education had introduced them to American independence struggle that was later on that came across in 1792, French Revolution in 1789 and nationalism amongst themselves. The African people became aware of nationalism, that is national pride, love for the country. So after the Second World War, nationalism got a further boost. England and France gradually began to grant more rights to their African colonies. This strengthened the national independence movement in African nations. बट एक साइड पे हम लोगों ने देखा था कि एक साइड पे सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर के बाद कोल्ड वॉर सिचुएशन चालू हुआ था. दैट इज एक साइड पे अमेरिका था, दूसरे साइड पे यूएसएसआर था, यूएसए एंड यूएसएसआर. सो यूएसए को सपोर्ट करने वाले बहुत सारे कंट्रीज थे, यूएसएसआर को सपोर्ट करने वाले बहुत सारे कंट्रीज थे, बट देयर वर सर्टेन कंट्रीज जो दोनों को सपोर्ट नहीं करते थे एंड दे वर कॉल्ड एज थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्रीज. उनका एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ था एट अ प्लेस नोन एज बैंडंग. बैंडंग किधर आया? इंडोनेशिया में. Bandung Conference came across. India called a conference, the first conference of Asian countries in 1947. The representatives of 25 Asian countries were present for the conference. In this conference, the concept of Asian regionalism was shaped. The issues like common problems faced by Asian people, social, economic and cultural problems of the Asian countries, and also the need of mutual cooperation among the Asian countries were discussed in this conference. कि भाई हर एक कंट्री को साथ में रहना जरूरी है अभी, बिकॉज अगर अभी हम लोग साथ में नहीं रहेंगे तो आगे प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है. सो दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस फॉलोड बाय द फर्स्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ द एशियन दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस फॉलोड by the first conference of Asian and African country held in 1955 at Bandung in Indonesia. This conference came to be called as Bandung Conference. In this conference, all Afro-Asian countries were discussed and it was decided to focus on world peace and mutual cooperation. The next concept of African unity came across. Now, H.S. Williams was the first person to think of African unity. He formed an organization while in London called as African Association. It was a Pan-African association. Pan-African matlab in favor of or in support of Africa. That is Pan-African Association. He organized its first conference in 1900. W.E.B. Du Bois, an American sociologist of African origin, was present in this conference. In 1919, a second conference of African leaders and thinkers were held at Paris, known as Pan-African Congress. Now, Congress मतलब एक meeting हुआ था वहाँ पे. It is nowhere related to our Congress. Thereafter, W.E.B. Du Bois and his associates called a series of Pan-African Congress at various places. This resulted in the idea of Pan-African unity keeping or taking deep roots in Africa. The fifth conference that came across, which was held at Manchester in 1945 by African origin living people in Manchester, came across, and finally there came across the process of decolonization of all the African continent. So let us begin with the first part, learning about decolonization in the African continent. The First World War began in the year 1914. Yes, वो टाइम पे 1914 of course. At that time, except Liberia and Ethiopia, entire African continent was ruled by European powers. Now, why Liberia was not controlled by them? Because there were certain royal touch which was there. Because of which वो Liberia को affect नहीं हुआ था. And Liberia के साथ Ethiopia. European colonies in Africa, that is almost the entire continent, got involuntarily involved in the war. England and France began to attack Germany, or the German colonies in Africa. After this defeat of Germany in the war, all the allied nations began to compete with each other for occupying German colonies in Africa. Togoland, Cameroon, जो हम लोगों ने पहले पढ़ा था. The American President Woodrow Wilson, considering this situation, suggested that the victorious European nations should act as a trustee of the erstwhile German colonies. Trustee मतलब वहाँ पे development लाएंगे, Trusteeship Council United Nations वाला. Hence, and administer them only as the protectorates, मतलब जो उनको receive मतलब उनको protect करेंगे, उनको support करेंगे in their own development. It was necessary to give the colonial internal autonomy, hence the League of Nations was made, and it was decided that mutual understanding amongst England and France and Belgium should divide the colonies among themselves. A committee of 11 members was appointed by the League to supervise the administration of the colonies. और जब ये colony बना था, ये committee बना था, ये किसके लिए काम कर रहा था? For their development. Development कैसे किया? 4 colonies थे which came together. Cape Colony, Natal, Orange Free State and Transvaal. They all came together and amalgamate करके, mix करके एक country बनाया. Country का नाम South Africa. Was created in 1920. However, the dominance of the white people continued unchanged. Hence, Egypt got its independence before the end of Second World War. Following, Libya, Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria and Ghana became independent one after the another. At about the middle of 20th century, in all 12 French colonies such as Ivory Coast, Madagascar, Mali in Central Africa became independent. Along with it, Cameroon, Somalia and other colonies under the care of League of Nations and also other European colonies became independent one by one. Algeria had to give a tough fight to get its freedom. Finally, in 1962, it became independent by conducting its own plebiscite. Plebiscite का मतलब क्या हुआ? Public voting वहाँ पे लिया गया था. In 1964, Tanganyika and Zanzibar were amalgamated, that is, it were included, and the independent state of United Republic of Tanzania came into existence. Prior to the Second World War, Italy had taken over Ethiopia and Libya, which had annexed to the Italian Empire. वहाँ पे dictator था, dictator Benito Mussolini. So during the Second World War, Mussolini, the dictator of Italy, had used these two regions for launching attacks on Egypt and other British colonies. मतलब मुसोलिनी ने ये डिसाइड करके रखा था कि ये कॉलोनी किसके लिए है? फॉर अटैकिंग द ब्रिटिश कॉलोनीज इन अफ्रीका. Finally, the African battlefield in the Second World War had spread from Morocco and Libya in the north to Ethiopia and Somaliland on the eastern border of Africa. North, East Africa. The British Empire in Africa was in danger because of the aggressions of Italy and German General Erwin Rommel. Indian soldiers in the British Army who fought with great resilience, great valor, great bravery. With their help, the British could compel the combined armies of Italy and Germany to retreat. Finally, Italy and Germany had to lose their colonies in Africa at the Second World War in 1945. So finally, जब Second World War खत्म हुआ, that is in 1945, it created an environment in which the process of decolonization gained momentum. The Asian and African continents were filled with heightened spirit of independence movement, and finally they got independence. That is, slowly and gradually every country started getting independence. The awareness about these movements spread rapidly. There were many countries in both the continents obtained their freedom. However, the developments in these countries were also being watched by America and Russia, the two superpowers. तो दोनों सुपर पावर्स थे, एक साइड पे था यूएसए, दूसरे साइड पे था यूएसएसआर. ईच ऑफ देम वर ट्राइंग टू अट्रैक्ट मैक्सिमम कंट्रीज ऑन देयर साइड. यूएसए की साइड पे एक, यूएसएसआर की साइड पे कुछ कंट्रीज, which resulted into fights resulted into war. This time it was not war, it was not world war, it was cold war, about which we are going to learn in the next chapter. So stay tuned, dear students. Like, share, comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take care, stay blessed. Bye bye.